Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Boba, Tiny Teams. So we've done 2 games today. We've done a puzzle platformer. We've done like an old school retro turn-based tactics game.
Yeah, tactics.
And now we're going to do a little bit of Citizen Sleeper, which if you haven't heard of it, it's really good. So
Lewis's personal recommendation.
yeah, this one is out. It's out now on Steam. It's been out a little while. It's got very good reviews. And I've given it a little play. We'll start a new game. You can choose your class. There's a pretty limited choice. You could be an operator, so someone who works with drones and high precision remote machines and perform complex tasks from a distance, or you can be a
damn, but they're so cute.
An extractor. So this is a kind of more. So either way, you're a robot.
Yeah.
Or you're not really a robot. You're kind of a robot suit.
Robot people.
Yeah, with an emulated
robot
human
body
intelligence inside you. Which would you like to be, Boba? The operator, I'm guessing.
Let me see the other one too.
Are you just eating a muffin?
I am. Is that all right?
It's not much difference. You start with one perk that you're more likely to use strength to solve problems and less brain.
This one's cuter.
And this one's more good with digital, but less good with tough situations. So if you played Disco Elysium, which is obviously one of the best games ever made, it's a lot of story, a lot of reading, but there are tricky things to do. And so there is a third class. Arist Morta. Really? I didn't even notice.
Uh-oh.
I thought there were only 2. Well, look, we picked this one anyway, so it's okay. The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling. Between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. But we've got to forget about that body, Boba. We've got to resist nostalgia. It is pointless. We have escaped. Reach out. You almost laugh, or you would do if there was room or even air to do so. The walls of the container are immediately present, cold hard at your back and face, cramping your limbs. Have you brought me a cake, Daph?
Look at that! It's so
the size
fancy.
of this cake.
Chelsea bun.
It's a Chelsea bun.
Chelsea's buns.
Thank you. I was reading.
This muffin
We'll have to take
slaps as
turns
well.
to read, because you eat your muffin, I'll read it.
Okay.
So we're in a container. We don't know who we are.
A vessel.
In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease. A reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the plan. You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan, but then your options were limited. And once you got the itch to get out, by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away in the chaos, slip into cargo processing, seal yourselves into containers, and then just hope the freighter left before you were missed.
Interesting.
Some were lost in the shaft, others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. And that feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reached any destination. Wait for the cold. Because that's all there is now. It has been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You've spent much of that time asleep knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again. To nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. So, basically, Boba, we were
A people.
we were a man at one point, but we sold ourselves
Our
to
body.
become a robot.
Okay.
We put our brain in a robot body, and we were kind of enslaved in this horrible dull, airless, lifeless moon, working with all these other slaves as well. And we decided to try and make a break for it, and we managed to, but no one else really made it out. And we made it. So we locked ourselves into a cargo container. We launched ourselves off on a random freighter going somewhere, and we made it out. And we've landed on this weird ring. And this guy,
Dragos.
or girl, Dragos, this person. It's very gender free, this game, actually. Most characters could be male or female because it's, the deep future.
Androgyny. Hell yeah.
It's been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container that we were sealed in. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. Basically, this is a shipbreaker, salvager. Your freighter floated into port, and you were dragged out by this guy. And he decided not to just turn you into scrap. Because you're not really a human. You're a robot with a human mind. So, Sleeper, are you thawed yet? We're almost thawed. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. See more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator. So he's got his little robot friend. Sleepers don't last long. And there's a reason for that, which you'll find out soon.
Okay.
But I plan to survive. So yeah, we're a rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property.
Okay.
That's who we are, which is a bit of a problem. So yeah, we were a person at one point, but we are no longer that person. We're a copy, effectively.
Does that mean that...
But we're still human.
Existential, Lewis. It's activating my existentialism.
There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. S and ARP wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of you, no one can. So your body will decay, planned obsolescence. How long has it been? How long do you have? But at least we're alive. And we're at this place called the Eye, which is a space station.
Okay.
On the very outer rim of the galaxy.
Lewis knows this because he's been playing it a decent amount, so he's not skipping, he just knows.
We could read it all you can read it all if you like, but it was a bit of a reading game. So we got a character who is an operator. We can have a skill tree. We're currently good at interfacing, so I think we should try and take work doing interfacing if we can. This is the Eye, which is like a round space station. It's got lots of different parts of it, some of which are, locks off. And this is the empty container where we're resting. Are you following?
Yeah, but I'm thinking in my brain about existence.
Okay, go on then.
So, if you...
Have some of this cake.
If your brain and your consciousness are transported into a robot or copied into another thing, are you alive? Because I was talking with my friend about, or rather my friend was talking about Annihilation on her stream. Do you know that book and movie? So she was talking about how the scary, horrible bear that's in it uses the DNA to basically have its victim exist within it and use that as part of the way that it hunts. So does that mean that you are conscious or alive, just like this robot? So if your being is put into a robot, does that make you alive? And does it make you human still?
There's a bit in this game where someone in chat just said, "I think, therefore I am."
Yeah.
I think it's I think someone says, one of the AIs says, I'm thinking, so I think I'm alive.
Soma was also like that too, the game. If you are put inside, you are alive. If you are a copy, then no.
What's the difference? Anyway,
no.
This game explores a little bit of that. So if that's... I know it's a bit early for this.
The rest of my day, I'm going to be struggling.
Yeah, I mean, this sort of stuff is really super interesting.
Yeah.
You know, with robots and sentient AIs and
What did I watch recently?
the morals around it. It's
I
crazy.
watched Westworld recently for the first time. That is just like so fucked up. It really is.
Yeah. It's
But
very
damn,
dystopian.
it was a good series.
So what do we want to do?
Okay.
What matters? Do we want to... Is it just escaping that matters?
If
Do we need to
I-
get answers? Like, how did this happen to me?
So if I sold my body,
Or do I want to build a life?
if I sold my body on purpose to get a robot body, I feel like I would have already come to terms with the idea of doing that. You know what I mean?
Well, you were desperate, or you did it. You had your reasons at the time.
I think I would just go on building my life because I'm a robot now. Who gives a fuck? You know? I'm a robot.
Well, you're
now.
sort of a robot, cyborg robot human.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I'm essentially immortal as long as I keep my upkeep going, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got my
Look at this.
Mylar
Faded
blanket.
sachets of desiccated powder.
Okay.
You boil some water, and the sachets smell like damp wood. You sprinkle them in. You had that for breakfast, didn't you?
Tea, damp wood.
You had noodles.
I did have microwave noodles for breakfast,
Yeah.
and now this fucking muffin, which is actually decadent. It's so good.
I know. So there's something nice about playing these games. Like, it's weird. The idea of coziness, right? We're freezing cold
Yeah.
in a fucking empty container, frozen in a cyberpunk nightmare. But we've got a little stove. We're heating up some noodles. There's something really weird and cozy about that. Anyway, so Dragos is here, or Dragos. He's put himself at risk, or she has put herself at. They've put themselves at risk to get us out that container and hide us in this container effectively, knowing that we're corporate property, we are a danger.
This is like, in a way, concept similar to Severance as well, right?
Yeah. So yeah,
Corporate property.
and they want us to work because they're struggling. as
Nothing
well.
in life is for free.
You know,
Everyone wants something.
So we're gonna have to. We
Earn our right.
we owe Dragos.
Yeah.
So we're gonna work for him, and we're gonna say we're happy to because
We are.
we need to do something. We can't just sit in this empty container all day.
Yeah.
And we've got
noodles.
skills. We got the skills to pay the bills. So this is important, but it doesn't matter. I can show you what. So every location on the ship will have stuff to do. So in this case, in our empty container, we can rest. That will reset our dice, right? This is our health at the top of the screen. We will lose health every day as we decay. So we'll be dead in like 10 days. Every
Yep.
time our health drops below a certain margin, we get less actions every day. And the quality of our actions also is random. So at the moment, we've got really low quality actions, which is really annoying. But it doesn't matter because some of these actions are safe. And it doesn't really matter if we fuck them up. Others are risky, and we can injure ourselves or even make things worse if we're ripping apart. And there's also dangerous actions as well. But yeah, we've got Dragos is tied up in something ugly, and so after 8 turns, he's actually going to get in trouble. And so maybe we can't even work here after 8 turns. But if we can complete 8 tasks here, we'll get some good event. So, do you want to take over? Do you want to have a go?
Oh, I'm scared.
So you can drag a dice to hull dissection. So maybe we should put the 4 in some hull dissection.
Because it's risky.
It is risky, but look, there's 25% positive, 50% neutral. So we've got a 1 in 4 chance of fucking it up. But who knows? Neutral. Okay, so yeah, these are the clocks that I told you about, so you can ignore that tutorial. So yeah, look, we had a neutral outcome. We got one tick up. We got 15 cryo. That's not bad. Yeah.
What should I put?
Maybe put the 3 in that. It becomes a 2, which is no idea because we're very weak at that. Maybe put that in the whole dissection in instead, even though it's riskier. Okay, it's the same chance. Oh, okay, so there are drives. Our first drive is to find a doctor.
Okay.
Because we're obviously dying, and it feels like that would be a good outcome. We got another lucky neutral outcome. So this is good. Maybe we should put the 1 and the 2 in the safe manual salvage, because we're not really very well. Yeah, if we get a negative outcome for a safe thing, it just doesn't give us anything, so we can't really...
It's not really.
We can't really get hurt.
Shall we put this in there too?
Yeah, definitely.
0.
We're making progress. We're helping Drake. We got lucky. We got 4 neutral outcomes.
Wow. Good luck.
We didn't get injured. You know, there wasn't like a short circuit or like anything. Look, the salvaging is brutal work, but you take no small sense of satisfaction from the ordered piles and clear yard you leave behind. It takes you a while to get a handle on Dragos' equipment. Before long, you are precisely slicing down hull plates into neat piles. You've helped out, you know, Dragos for the day.
I'm earning my keep.
So he will appreciate it. And now there's a little bit more of a space station to explore. So this is the Rotunda, which is the round area. Merchants will, in 8 turns, the merchants will turn up. Over here, in 4 turns, a salvage sortie will turn up and have some scrap on it. This is the Rotunda, so we don't know much about it yet, but we can try and steal some dock plans from security to learn about the place quickly, or we can just walk around, which will do it in a more slow fashion.
Yeah. Danger one is scary.
Yeah, so that danger is obviously risky. You know, if we get caught, we'll be in trouble. But we haven't got any more actions today, so
we gotta take a rest.
We go bed.
We go sleep. We go sleep.
We go sleep.
How's your Chelsea bun, Lewis?
It's real good. Yeah, very, very good. It's like very sweet bread with cinnamon like laced in it. It's dangerous, Boba is what it is.
This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station. No, you feel the station like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Touch it. I'm gonna touch it. You find a point in the station and you connect to it, pulse through it, follow loops and paths under and around it. You touch more points than you have fingers, and then you try in a moment of impulsiveness to connect them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, try to touch them too. You notice a tugging feeling, pulling at you insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling you in 2 directions at once.
So this is the cyberpunk thing. You're a robot. You are connected to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And this
what
is
it. Legion. We are Legion.
So when you dream, but you can control it to some extent.
Yeah.
And you haven't known this until now because, you know, where you were on the slave colony working the mines or whatever, there was no...
Downtime?
Well, there was no distributed network running through the system. But here, you know, you close your eyes and suddenly you're connected. It's like you just connected to the Wi-Fi and you can see through. So we're starving, which is not ideal.
Frutas Dragos.
So we need to get some food.
Okay.
So let's scroll up a little bit, Boba. Is there any more up here? Oh, there is. What's that? The Bright Market. Well, we could ask for directions, which is obviously very dangerous. We can explore the market, but we've got 6. So I reckon we should use the 6 to ask for directions, which will always have a positive outcome. And then...
A drink stall.
And then we got 3 local knowledge. Perfect. So if you go leave, you'll then see new stuff. So there's 2. There's a street food vendor. Perfect. There's a passage gate, and there's the slum doctor.
Oh,
and that's our drive.
Yeah. Look at this person.
Emphis. He's busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok. His other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables in some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to eat more of this cinnamon roll now. If you guys haven't had your lunch yet, I'm sorry. The fungus...
You need it.
The fungus... marinated fungus is really doing it for me, I've got to admit.
That's what you usually eat as well.
I do. I love marinated fungus. I must admit. I'm powered by it. So yeah, there's lots of grubby space scavengers, and he gives you it for free. Mm-hmm. It gives you some food for free. What a nice guy.
Free fungus!
But of course, it's not really for free, because Emphis likes being told stories.
Oh.
So if you tell him a story, he'll usually give you some food for free.
Tell him of the cold and dark container, a dream that you once had but can never forget. You are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Next time we can talk some more, but next time you pay. Next time.
Here we go. So old Emphis.
He's
a good boy. So again, this is a little bit like one of those games where you're kind of choosing your own adventure, and each of these people has their own storylines and pathways and stuff. So there's a doctor here, and with a big enforcer protecting the door.
Your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, your body will. You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. Look at the enforcer. His purpose is unmistakable. He is there to intimidate, to threaten, and if necessary, carry out those threats. His broad shoulders are framed with a metal exoskeleton. A couple of mirror-like implants sit below his eyes like mercury teardrops. That sounds cool as hell. Subsidiary sense input or aesthetic markers, you aren't sure. Are you proud of me that I read subsidiary correctly?
I don't know if I would have read it like that, though.
How would you say it?
Wrongly.
Subsidiary. The British way, subsidiary. You also aren't familiar with the geometric blade-like tattoo on his arm. Everyone's got tattoos, very cool. So did the next one, Toshiro. You go through the door.
Yeah.
Floor-to-ceiling transparent panel, a full view of the bright market, and you are transfixed by the motion. This person's got a cool outfit.
They all do.
They all do. Come sit, calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turn away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion. They open their mouth as if to speak, they blink, and then they regain their composure.
They recognize you.
Please sit. Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. Remain still, please. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression. Fear, recognition, sadness unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been on the station, they ask. Scanner to your eyes. Don't answer. They lower the scanner and meet your eye. You can talk. They glance towards the doorway. I know the conditions aren't ideal, but I need...
So sorry, there's a fire alarm test in the office.
I need you to be honest with me. I thought I was in big trouble in the video game.
No, you're alright, Boba.
They make some adjustments to the scanner, or you can leave. The diagnostic scanner on the table.
So, don't worry about all of this.
Yeah, your body is dying. SNARP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose.
Mm-hmm.
To prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call them, from being stolen, they have planned obsolescence, which is supposed to be illegal.
Hmm.
When they're not injected with a stabilizer, they'll decay rapidly.
I know, which is what's happening.
Yes, I know. Good, that may help. Forearms trembling.
So we need some drugs.
Yeah.
Can we get some drugs, please?
Please help us stabilize.
And so she says she can't help. And then she says, "Fine. The Yatagan, who are the local mafia,
The low end.
they're gonna look into trying to. She's gonna have to. It's gonna be dangerous and expensive, but she might be able to find you some drugs that'll keep you alive."
Okay.
Okay. So, Sabine is on side. She's taking pity on you for some reason.
The low end?
Yeah. So we need 60 cryo to even get into the low end. But it doesn't really matter because she's gonna see that now. That's ticking.
Mm-hmm.
So click on that. So 3 turns and she's gonna come back to us.
Okay.
So she's gonna go to the mafia, so we don't have to. We don't want to go in the low end if we can avoid it. That could be dangerous.
This is ticking too.
Yeah.
So we can do some work, right?
We can do some work for Dracos, yeah. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna be risky.
We could do some hull dissection. Go for it. Nice, positive outcome. That
That's
moved it
good.
forward too.
And then we can do this one.
It's a manual salvage.
Because it's safe.
Yeah. Nice. We didn't actually get any progress, but we did get 5 money. Okay, so you can sleep. So you see that bar underneath our dice? That's how much energy we have, which is when we need 2 of that every night. We use 2 every night. So if we don't have food or something to eat, we will lose life instead.
Oh, jeez. So we're having a dream again.
Again, we're in the Wi-Fi. Well, we're in the Matrix. Daff will be back soon with a box of drugs for Lewis.
Oh my goodness.
That's how this stream works. If I say, like, can we get pizza? Pizza comes in. If I say, can I have a cinnamon roll comes in. I haven't really...
Wow, Lewis, would you really just love a puppy to come visit us?
Food related. Puppy. If you ask that, people will bring...
Daff, may I have a puppy, please?
Daff, can you get a puppy?
Bring me a puppy.
Oh my gosh.
The second. Okay,
so what's happening?
A thread.
What's happening, Boba?
An insistent tugging again. 2 lines, 2 threads, different directions. So I took the second one, and I got tasted and tested.
Ooh.
The first thread leads out away from the station into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. Time is short.
So we're getting this knowledge from
our dreams.
From the database, effectively. And we now realize that we can access this database. So if you hit that eyeball there, we can actually look into like the cyberpunk side of things. Now, of course, this isn't without risks. You know, there are firewalls and demons and protectors for the cyberpunk side of things. So hacking these nodes. So if you click on that key node, for example, have a look at that. So that requires a 3. If you have interface, which we do, you can actually also put in a 2 instead. So yeah, click bypass, and you can extract that data. You've just bypassed this key node, so now you've got an encrypted key that you can use out on the station to maybe access some sort of hidden door. So the hacking nodes tend to require small numbers, whereas the task nodes tend to require large numbers. You're going to buy some fungus.
Fungus!
So drag some money to him and buy some fungus. Yeah, so that will give you enough. So that gives you 3.
So I can sleep.
you're becoming a fan of fungus.
Ooh.
And you get a taste for it, I guess. And after a while, there'll be another event that's triggered.
Okay. What are these red things?
That's when a bad event will happen.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, sometimes what will happen is if you don't complete the tasks in Dragos' shipyard in a certain amount of time, you just gotta go around. You should probably go and help Dragos, but we don't have to. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna try this one.
Okay, you're gonna assist the shipbuilder.
Yeah.
Blam, welcome. You are now a yard hand. You shadow a shipbuilder who is impressed when you know how to double seal a hull plate. There you go, Boba. So
Got
again, there's
slip the tip.
another sort of so unlocking these events can make good and bad things happen. 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Neutral. Okay, you need one more here to trigger. Every salvager knows they are always just one lucky haul away from the next payday.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, you know, if you put in the time, something good will happen eventually.
I need to do a sleep.
You do. You are fading now,
Uh-oh.
but hopefully Sabine will have some drugs for you in a couple of days. So yeah, there's also someone hunting you IRL.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bounty hunter on your tail, which is not ideal.
Ooh.
And this guy works for Havenage, who run the area of the station that you're on. And he is a systems engineer, so he's like one of the administrative staff. And he's noticed you. I guess because you hacked into that system and he saw it.
Oops.
So
The Administrative Association for the Eye.
I think he has a small proposition for you, but this is not the place for it. So basically, with him, he's noticed you're able to hack into stuff, and he can't. You can hack into stuff he can't.
Okay.
Because you're this robot human. You've got weird skills that other people don't have, right? And you're really advanced technology that sure is dying, but you know he knows that he could, you know, get you to do stuff for him.
Should I? Scary.
You should use the 6. It's a nice, safe option. Don't be
And
scared.
then we'll do this.
Alright, so if you press leave, what will happen is something will trigger. There you go. And so you can now talk to Dragos, who is delighted to introduce you to a giant cutter, which has been torn apart in some violent encounter, which is a huge ship that's been lowered into the shipyard. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. So, what you cleared out the shipyard of all the work, and they had enough space to take this big job, which is this huge craft. That looks like it's been in a battle or something, right? So yeah, he doesn't care. All he has to do is rip it apart. But this is, you know, very similar to the ship that you arrived in. Mm-hmm. It's called Winter Light. So you need to know. So it would be nice to know what happened to this ship, because obviously this one didn't make it, right?
Yeah.
This was potentially one of the ones which your fellow sleepers had stowed away on, and it got blown up. Like, so what happened? So you can stay in Dragos's area and try and find out what happened to it, to get clues to what might be awaiting you in the future. You know, why were you lucky? Why did you escape? Why didn't, you know? But they didn't. You know, so you can hack into it, or you can just rip it apart and get the supplies.
Yeah.
There's options for both.
Interesting.
But obviously the choices you make in this game, much like all these adventures, like you can either take the money right now if you need it to pay for stuff, or you can get some information that you might need in future to make better decisions. So probably a good thing is to fix that -1 that you've got on your endure, because Just now you got no penalty, which is quite big because there's quite a lot of endure tasks.
1 upgrade point, 2, and then 3, and I have 0 left.
So it costs you 2 upgrade points to get the skill and the +1, you see, and then it will cost you 5 more points to get it to +2. So it's quite hard to get upgrades. You only get upgrade points when you complete drives. So you just paid off Dragos's kindness, and that was a drive, so you got an upgrade point. So once you get the stabilizer off Sabine, hopefully that'll be another goal done, and then another drive will be completed.
Or
so you've only got 1s and 2s left, which is not really very useful because you sort of need like safe options or options you can do other stuff with. But like I said, these ones here are very easy to do because they usually require 1s and 2s. Yeah, so you can put a 1 in there and get a key. Let's get that data.
I'm hacking.
Now,
oh, the noise is scary, Lewis.
Well, press continue because something's noticed you in the mainframe.
No, the cloud.
The thing that was
A taste.
a thing that was following you.
Entity unknown. Astringent. Processing.
Follow.
I'm resisting.
Please hold.
Uh-oh.
It's a sentient protocol.
This guy. This
That-
looks like the Mononoke.
So
He's
this is a relic of the old protections. It's like a protection demon basically.
Entity identify. Origin serial cadence.
So this is a program called Hunter, which can track rogue
I just told you
rogue
who I
AIs
was.
and rogue people. I suggest you run, yeah, and you're trying to tell it. You can whatever you do. Hunter does not care. It wants to.
Confirm your legal activities.
I'm a person.
You're an entity. You stink of their taste. The one from the sealed dock.
There's a sealed dock. An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. I will not be diverted from my task. So you attack and run, but every time you encounter this thing, it gets stronger because it learns more about you and how to counter you. And so it's a scary boy. And so you're hunted both in cyberspace and in real life. So you need a 1 or a 3 for that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And again, the more you do down here, remember, the more Hunter will seek you out. So perhaps you shouldn't do any more hacking.
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
You're just gonna hack it up.
Come at me, bitch. Look, I got some Havenage data. I awake. No, I sleep. I sleep. I'm gonna have 2 less. I'm gonna need to go eat fungus.
Boba's really got the hang of this, hasn't she?
I love video
You're
games.
quick. You're quick on the old uptick.
Thank you. I'm starving, Lewis. I'm starving. Let me go get some fungus.
There are other places you can get food and other ways to get energy, but it's a very safe way to just get
My money.
your supplies.
My money.
Fungus is good value.
All right.
There is a hype train incoming.
Uh-oh. Look. First thing you see is Toshira's implants like cat's eyes. Pushing in, I have it. The set vials with foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. I have no idea how yet again. I should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I'm not sure. I don't care. But we need to be careful. But I don't think we have another choice. Stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation. This is what we talked about yesterday, Lewis.
Oh yeah, we were chatting
Because
about
random number generation prepares you for any sorts of threats you might encounter.
There's a
So
really cool couple of.
immunosuppressants.
You need to watch those Kurtzgesagt videos about the
I
immune
do.
system. They're
You
so
have to text them
fascinating.
to me. So immunosuppressants trick your body into thinking that there's not a threat
Yeah.
or something. Lewis taught me about science, and I had a great
So you
time.
you told me about it as well.
I was listening too.
In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part, it's like because your body, I guess, is rejecting itself.
Biosynthetic organ groups.
Yes.
So we've got weird organs, and which over time are identified by your body as foreign materials and must be eliminated. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. So like when you talked about immunosuppressants and stuff, and pain blockers, you said that they do your entire system, so even if your finger hurts, is this what this is talking about? So it will be targeted? No, it re-encodes with new protein chains that act as passcodes. It refreshes the passcodes.
Don't worry about all this. It's fine.
Listen,
We
basically
just give me the good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We need.
A syringe.
We hope that this works.
Oh, I've done a wow.
Boing. We passed out, but
What happened? The stabilizer's good.
oh, thank God.
You should rest. I have other patients. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You'll need to pay for it. It seems different, as if you wonder how long you've been out. Nothing comes for free, sleeper. Remember that. We get to our feet and we leave. Lower our eyes. The world is spinning. But now we can go here, and now if we want stabilizers, they cost 100 monies.
Yeah.
But we'll need those once we get low, so
Yeah.
we can keep track of that.
Oh, and there's a ship has arrived on the right-hand side as well. There's loads of stuff happening. Look, so this ship's arrived. We can buy scrap, and there's a gamble. Some of the scrap might be worth something, but sometimes it's not. It's usually worth buying. Just buy one scrap, because I think, yeah, you can input that somewhere else. I think. There we go. Got a random scrap item, so we can do that twice more while this freighter's here.
Okay.
But we might need the cryo, so maybe we don't do that again.
Unload containers and they'll pay a wage.
Yeah,
It
you
is
can work on it,
dangerous,
which is
but-
dangerous. We don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
Um,
What's this thing?
this is the Feng, the guy who's wants us to hack into
Okay.
stuff for him. So yeah, like lots of things are opening up now. Lots of options.
I think I want to play this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you? I was playing a bit of it yesterday, and I was enjoying it. It's a lot of reading, but
I would like that, I think, but maybe not for streaming, but for just like a game to actually. I've been trying to enjoy games on my own time too, because a lot of times I just stream games.
have you played Disco Elysium? Because Ashmalex just mentioned that again, and I think it does have a similar feel to it. Disco Elysium is brilliant.
Yeah.
You really should play
I
it.
saw it's on Switch, and that's what I like to when I have.
Well, they fully
time.
voiced it now.
Really?
Yeah. Napoleon couldn't get into it. The first time I played it, I couldn't get into it, and then the second time I played it, I just did. I just did get into it for some reason, and then it hooked me in, and then I just did all of it. It's a really cool game. Yeah, so this guy's basically talking about Solheim, and Solheim were the original builders of the Eye, and then they obviously had a thing called the Collapse, where society sort of fell apart. The company that owned it collapsed, and then so you need to hack this, get this Solheim data, which is a very specific kind of data from the nodes. So there might
if I
be.
look.
There you go. There's a Solheim gate. So you need to input the Solheim cipher that he gave you to open that up, and then you're gonna have to hack some
Princess
nodes.
Mononoke will see me.
Yeah.
So what action?
So right click to leave, or yeah, and then you've got new Solheim nodes.
That was the same one I was at? Oh, okay.
So this needs a 2 or a 3. You've got 3. So you can bypass that one. I think you need to get 3 Solheim data, but you will have another encounter with that awful
Yeah.
hunter at some point.
I'm gonna chill out on that for a moment, and maybe I'll do some more.
So there's this new. So this is the winter light. You can either do a forensic to all of its systems,
or just salvage
or
it.
just start chopping it up.
I want to do forensics. I want to see. So this is. I could do both. I don't have to like. But whatever I fill up first will be the path that I've chosen, correct?
Yes, pretty much. But actually, that one on the left, I don't know. It doesn't necessarily end it. It might end it, but it might not. Oh!
Negative.
Dragos, you actually caused a... Oh, you caused +1 on the other action.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
I must have
You must have broken something and it fell apart. And then you were like, oh, you know what? I intended that.
Do a sleep.
So now you've got to get 5 whole dice out of this.
Ooh.
Which is fantastic. But this is Citizen Sleeper.
I like it a
What
lot.
a cool universe, huh?
I like it because it feels like a novel, you know? It feels like a fiction book that you're
Totally.
like
It's got interesting characters, it's in an interesting setting. There's interesting decisions. It's got enough game that it keeps it interesting and like it feels like you're playing a game, but
the
at the same
graphics
time,
too, like just the look of it.
it's simple but it's cool. So yeah, Citizen Sleeper is out now. It came out this year. It's in Tiny Teams. I think it's on sale. Let's have a look. So it came out in May. It's not on sale, but you can get the deluxe edition for 10% off. They've just done a free update with a new story, a new bit of story, which is called the Flux. So I think they're going to do 3 of them for free in future. So yes, I rate it, and you should check it out. Tiny Teams is obviously the thing that finishes today. So coming up next,
There's us.
that's us. It's going to be the closing ceremony. So stay tuned for Tom and Ben and Alex coming in and playing their favourite games from the festival. There's been a lot of games streamed, a lot of really fun games, a lot of really cool games coming up as well. A lot of games that aren't out yet.
I need to go grab some or write my list and see what keys I can scramble for.
Yeah, well, that's the benefit of running the festival, Boba. You could play any of these. Beneath the Reese, you played that, didn't you?
That was really cool.
We Were About to Die, Harry played this, really cool. So yeah, lots and lots of really cool games. So check them out. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for. I've had a really nice time. Yeah, I might take a few days off, but I might stick around. We'll see. So yes, stay tuned for another stream. Go and get some lunch or a cup of tea in the break.
A Chelsea bun.
We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Thanks, bye-bye.